evening, Capricorn Venus placements. I am here to give you a read straight from the hip with lots of lip. And this is diving back into that love reading series. I want to make sure I cover all 12 of the signs. And this is a timeless reading. So when you receive it, that's when the message is meant to come on through. This is for Capricorn Venus placements, or those who have their Venus in the 10th house of Capricorn. Okay. This may speak strongly to you. And I already was starting to get the deck prepared, getting it shuffled, and I had 3 cards fall out of the deck and right into my lap. And I think it really has a message for you. I'm going to shuffle these cards a bit more, but I wanted to make sure that I dropped in with this right off the bat because it was significant. We got Ace of Pentacles coming in for you, okay? To the Lovers, all right? To the Magician, okay? There is a new beginning coming in love, and this is a significant connection. This is a soulmate connection. And I can tell you right off the bat that if you have been in separation from somebody who really felt like your person, with this Mercury retrograde energy going on right now, regardless of whenever you tune in with this, okay, because it is timeless. So maybe there's something, if you tune in down the road and you're like, Mercury retrograde, it's not Mercury retrograde right now. Maybe the previous Mercury retrograde really is having an influence on this situation. You'll have to look back at what was going on in your life at that time. But currently, as I'm filming this, we are in the middle of everything doing a backslide kind of action right now. And that is causing a lot of things to come back around the bend for review, including love relationships, especially with what's going on with Venus right now. Venus did come in at the beginning of this lunar cycle with a very interesting square aspect to Uranus. And, that came in with the Virgo new moon. Okay, Virgo begins this cycle, Virgo ends this cycle. So, that brings a lot of out of pocket, unexpected experiences in the romance department. It certainly could do with a renewal in a love relationship that you were like, there's no way in hell this thing is going to come back from the brink. No way. And then something happens that makes it a possibility. So I just wanted to get into that right off the bat. And I'm going to give these a few more hard shuffles just because I want to make sure I get the energy nice and clear as we dive into this. But it looks like we're already off to a very interesting start. I just got that the news is going to come in really soon from this person. The shift is coming soon. It's going to come through a message. So just wait for that. I think you're going to be very surprised to hear from this person. Some of you thought you would never hear from this person ever again. I'm getting that it ended kind of rough between the two of you, okay? And when I am speaking of reconciliatory energy, and we're looking at the love department, I don't know why you would be tuning into this if you're not interested in romantic relationships, but sometimes people just do out of curiosity. But, sometimes people want to, come into a place of understanding themselves better in terms of loving themselves, accepting themselves. It could be that maybe there was a rift in the family or a rift with a very dear friend. So with these love readings, if you're single or you're not interested in love, it's not something that's on your radar right now, you could apply this to any kind of really close, intimate type of connection. Okay, so we see there's going to be some kind of healing coming forward. And for me to bring that in, I haven't brought that in on any of these other reads. I think that that's speaking to some of you are dealing with a situation where you had a falling out with a close friend, or you had a falling out with a family member, and this is coming back around the bend, and where you thought there was no way to resolve this situation, you're going to get a chance to kind of turn things around. And it looks really blessed up. Okay, looks really blessed up, but there might be some kind of decision involved in this with that Lover's card. Like, do I open up this again? Do I want to invest in this again? So let's just see what comes forward for Capricorn, Venus placements, and Venus placed in the 10th house of Capricorn placements. What is in store in the love department for Capricorn Venus? What is coming in for Capricorn Venus? We have a couple cards out on the board here. Let's see what we got going on. Yeah. We got the 2 of Cups to the 4 of Cups. Well, if that doesn't tell a story right there. I see that there was something that really just didn't turn out the way you were hoping in the love department. This shows that an offer was extended for a love relationship, and this very well could have been somebody that you felt was a soulmate with that 2 of Cups energy. This was somebody who, you felt a real connection with. And some offer they put forward was refused. Someone refused an offer here. They were not happy with what was being put on the table. This also could be a situation with the 4 of Cups. Sometimes it can deal with sort of a codependent kind of dynamic. So maybe you had to go through a period of separating from this person to sort of come into your own and get out of this kind of entangled sort of energy where I feel like in some cases there was a lot of projection and a lot of activation going on of like some deep old wounds kind of stuff, like a lot of childhood stuff coming up in the connection, like a definite mirroring kind of energy. But it's almost like the mirroring was coming through this, like, I want to say passive aggression, like a lot of just constantly dinging that person's sensitive points. And it was a dynamic that you found hard to extricate yourself from, because you did feel a real connection to this person. And likewise, we see with the 2 of Cups, it went both ways. But I think there was a point here where it became kind of imbalanced. There was an imbalance of power in this situation. One person was invested more in the connection. One person was the nurturer. One person was the caretaker. One person was doing all the giving. One person was doing all the work, on themselves, holding their end, while the other person was just kind of along for the ride. And I think that there needed to be this sort of pulling yourself away from this situation, creating some distance, maybe in hopes that the other person would kind of get a clue and get a perspective that they couldn't see up to that point. I think that an offer was put on the table and it just felt like you were being shortchanged. Like, to take this offer would be to settle. It wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. And you don't want to accept anything less than that true, love union of the 2 of Cups, where you see, they're equals. They meet on the same level, and that's what you're looking for. I feel like there was an imbalance in this dynamic. Let's see what the bottom of the deck energy shows. Yeah, for sure. Okay, we do see that there was an approach, a romantic approach. There was movement in this situation with the Knight of Cups. An emotional offer was made. It didn't really match up to your dream, to your vision with this title card here. This is my, if wishes were horses, the dreamers would ride. Maybe you felt like this guy was like totally dreaming, man. Like, are you kidding me? You actually think I'm going to accept that offer? That's not good enough, man. That's not good enough. You're not meeting me on my level. And notice how this horse is facing the opposite direction. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to go that way. I got another way to go. I'm not riding with you. If this is what you got going on for me, I'm going to go another way. I feel like this was turned down because we do see this decisiveness here, okay, with the King of Swords. It's possible you could have been dealing with an air sign energy. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, okay, this is their court card. But we do see that a decisive action was taken. And this very much was not about, coming from the heart, okay, with that King of Cups energy, because I think that if you would have came from your heart, that's when it could have gotten messy. Like you had sort of reached this place in the connection where the emotional lines were blurred. I'm getting this like real sensitivity, almost like sometimes this person's energy just jumped into your space and it became very confusing. Maybe you felt like, is this even mine? You might be somebody who's just very sensitive and you walk into a room, you can feel the energy in the room, you know how to read the room, you can read other people, you know, and their energy just kind of jumps into your space. And because there was already this sort of like codependent sort of push-pull dynamic, this imbalanced power in the situation, I think emotional lines became really blurry. And so in order for you to make a decision in regard to this, you had to come to a very clear place that involved like sort of moving more into logic, like this dynamic isn't working, regardless of what I may feel in this situation. I need to cut this off for right now and get some space from it. And we see that you did have a cycle end here with the Ten of Swords. You gave over to this willingly too. You didn't fight it. You didn't resist it. You knew it's what needed to happen. It's sort of like put a fork in it. It's done. We can't move forward like this. You may have really had this come to a head with the recent Pisces full moon we had, but we do see that you just came to a place of acceptance with this. I can't have a relationship like this. This isn't healthy. This isn't giving me what I need. I don't want to settle anymore. I want more than that. We do see that this helped bring a sense of balance, okay? Because you move into this temperance energy. And look, what's up there? We got the Two of Cups, okay? So there's that energy feeding into one another, all right? It's a reciprocal flow. This is what you're looking for. You wanted to create balance. You understood your worth. You were going to stand on it. You weren't going to settle, okay? With that temperance energy. And we see it comes back around, even with that shuffle. Isn't that beautiful? We see that this is what leads to the new beginning. We got this timing card here with the Ace of Pentacles. This is a solid offer coming through. This is something you can count on. It's not just castles in the sky. It's not just high crest promises, okay? This is something like, what this person is stepping to you with now, it's going to come to fruition. Okay, it's going to have you looking at the future in a new way with the Two of Wands. And with this Ace of Pentacles, this is a timing card. Okay, so we're looking at this energy really coming to fruition in the spring. I want to look at some top of the deck energy here. Yeah, we see that there's some healing and celebration that comes in at this time with the Three of Cups. And where things were imbalanced with this Two of Pentacles and you were trying to kind of find the way through, you know, and I do have to speak to this with the Two of Pentacles coming into the Three of Cups. There might have been like kind of a multiple party dynamic in this situation that wasn't working for one of the people. You know, it might have been what one person wanted. This is what I'm getting. One person wanted to kind of keep things more open, more light, more breezy. The other person wanted that Two of Cups, wanted that serious commitment. Like, no, I want you to be my person. I don't want other people involved. So I really see that this is part of what that push-pull dynamic could have been about. In some way, there was third-party interference. This was causing imbalance in the connection. It was causing problems. And because of that, yep, we see this Five of Pentacles. It led to sort of one person really feeling abandoned in this connection. I feel like with that with that King of Swords, this probably happened really like swiftly, really abruptly. I think this person felt very cut off. Somebody in this situation felt very cut off. So, you know, lean into what side you're on. And cross watchers, you know, this may speak to you if you know your person's chart, you know, and you know that they got a Capricorn Venus placement. I just see that somebody here felt really cut off abruptly, cut off cold. May have even been ghosted, you know, with that energy coming in like that. We see again, this is an unexpected change. We got double fives, okay? We got Five of Pentacles to the Five of Cups, okay? So this is, look at, There's those Three of Cups. There's those Three of Cups down on the ground, you know, looking at this in disappointment over what was supposed to be a celebration that ended up not being fulfilling. Okay. But we do see there's Two of Cups coming in with this rebirth energy with those cups. You just don't see it right now because you're still looking at what disappointed. There is some pearl of wisdom to glean from this experience, though. There's some gift that comes through this experience. But with these fives, double five energy, you know, Five of Pentacles, Five of Cups, this definitely shows that this was something that happened very quickly. It's also a change that needed to happen. Despite how rough it was, it needed to happen. This situation could not go on like this. This situation requires that transformation of temperance. You know, there's a balancing that needs to happen here. And it's a spiritual balancing, it's spiritual growth, it's personal growth, it's emotional healing, it's addressing the trauma stuff. It's, you know, this could have been very much like a trauma bond kind of situation, in fact. And so there was a lot of transformational work that needed to happen in this situation. With Three of Cups being the top card on that, though, I do feel like there is an opportunity for healing. There is an opportunity to find that balance, to overcome this, especially with the way it opened up with those cards that flew onto my lap and with the Ace of Pentacles showing up again as a reconfirmation that, yes, you know, there is a new beginning here. There's some kind of new beginning. There's some kind of new ground, okay? And we got Queen of Pentacles coming right after that. This is Earth sign energy. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Capricorn, this is you. And this is interesting to me because with these Five of Pentacles as well, and with the Two of Pentacles coming in here, I also see that this relationship connection could have really affected you financially, right? You might have really had your finances negatively impacted, especially in the case of a separation, all right? Especially in the case of separation. This also could have possibly been part of what was feeding into the codependent dynamic. Maybe one person felt like the other wasn't carrying enough weight financially. They felt like too much burden was being placed on them. This could also be a matter of, you know, being caught in somewhat of a situationship because one person did not have the finances they needed to move out of the situation. I do see there is a recovery of finances too in that regard with this Queen of Pentacles energy. This does show, you know, being able to manifest a new financial beginning. It's like maybe this is what the feminine in this situation needed to do. They needed to get back on their feet. They needed to get to a place where they could reestablish themselves financially. And by them working on their security on this level, it allows what was imbalanced in the relationship to be addressed. So there can be a new beginning. Okay. I do see in this Ace of Pentacles, there is this nest, and that always makes me think of nesting. It makes me think of the home. It makes me think of what's being nurtured in the home, the growth being nurtured in the home. And so with this new beginning coming in, and I have to say, this is, I'm spotting this like similarity in energy. I don't know, this Ace of Pentacles is giving me judgment vibes, okay? Like with the horn blowing of judgment. And there's like these sparkles coming from the horn. I see that same sparkle current coming with this Ace of Cups. And so I'm getting kind of a dualistic message here where it's sort of like saying, look, know you were disappointed. I know things didn't turn out the way you thought they would. And yeah, this separation was a real raw deal. You felt like you wasted your time and what's the point of it all? But there's the sounding of judgment here. You know, there's a new beginning coming that you're going to be very grateful of on the other side of this. And yeah, you can't see it right now, but I am bringing you an Ace of Cups. I'm bringing you a new beginning in love. So just trust, okay? There are some of you that will have a healing with this person, but you still may choose to refuse this cup, and you always have free will. You may decide, I don't want to revisit this. I'm ready for something different. And in that case, This may be about you recognizing that there's a dysfunctional pattern that is not able to be overcome. I think if you spy any red flag in this situation, you're going to shut it down. You're not even going to be open to a new beginning. For those of you, there's a new person coming in, you know. If you were dealing with an air sign energy before, a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, it may be that this Queen of Pentacles energy comes in, you know, to take the place. Okay. So that's another possibility, another storyline. I always bring in, you know, all the different scenarios that want to come tumbling in. You know, I let the guidance flow because I know that not everybody has the same situation. This is a broad collective, right? So we definitely want to make sure we get all the stories in. Yes. Ooh, yeah. You know what, though? I am really getting a strong message. I think for most people, it really is this scenario of one person needed to get their shit together financially. It was causing a lot of problems in the relationship. And we know that that kind of foundation, that financial security is really important to Capricorn archetype. Okay. So we do see this energy playing out here because, again, I see the 10 of Wands, okay? Somebody felt very overburdened. They felt like they were doing all the work in the situation. They felt like the other person needed to bring something to the table. What they were bringing to the table just was like wilting on the vine. It's like, you know what? You need to put some energy in here. I can't grow our future alone. You need to invest in this with me. That's what I'm really getting. You need to invest in this with me. And so there was this time of separation. Again, with that Pentacles energy, you could have been dealing with a Virgo, okay? Because this is Virgo archetype. You were like, you need to go off on your own for a bit. You need to get clear. You need to find your own way. You need to develop some independence. I don't want you to be dependent on me. You need to figure it out, you know? And I do see that that's what led to an ending in the situation with the death here, but we see there's a resurgence and what comes forward, but Emperor energy. So somebody bosses the fuck up. Somebody bosses up big time in this situation. I want to get a cut of the deck energy on this. Whew. I think you may have been dealing with, you know, it's interesting. You were either dealing with a Libra or a Taurus, most of you. And do be mindful that this is like Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, you know, Mercury, Mars, especially with what we got going on right now in the astrology. I picked that up because we got the Empress coming in, okay? This is about moving into a time of growth, personal growth, but also external growth, okay? Growth in your enterprises, growth in your finances, feeling in your creative flow, having that ability to manifest your desires because you're in alignment within yourself. It's when, you know, life is really feeling good. Like you're feeling enthusiastic about your life. And for the Empress to come out with the Emperor, okay, this is like, these are two people who really did their work. They did their work. And now they can meet on the same level. They're bosses in their own right. Like they can each hold their own individually, and they've stepped into that individuality. So I'm really getting this message of somebody overcame a codependent dynamic. Like they did the healing work. They took their time. They used this energy that we've been moving through, this heavy Pluto cycle we've been moving through, to do their shadow work, to do their integration work, to call back their soul parts, to release the need to have dependence on another to complete them. Instead, they did that work of the temperance and they completed themselves. And because of that, two people are able to come together in a new way. They're able to meet at the table, not as dependent and one person, you know, being the one who holds the reins in the situation, but meeting eye to eye, like, okay, we see each other now. Now we can get on the same page. It brings something beautiful. This is like, it's big boss energy. This is like power couple energy. On the opposite side of the deck, we got the Hanged Man, okay? We got the Page of Pentacles to the Seven of Swords. Yeah, and it ends in happiness with the Sun, Knight of Pentacles to an Ace of Wands to the King of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. Capricorn, this is amazing. Okay, yeah, we see like somebody needed to get some fucking education, and I believe it was education of the self with this Page of Pentacles energy. Again, Capricorn, there's your energy. I feel like you needed to kind of learn to look at yourself in a new way. You had to go through this personal growth period. That's why this separation was so essential. You know, that Page of Pentacles is all about learning something new, and with it coming in with this Hangman, this is very much about getting a different view of yourself. And coming right behind that is the Seven of Swords. Okay. So I believe this was about you getting really clear on how you sabotage yourself and understanding your own patterns of sort of pulling the wool over your eyes. Like, I think that it wasn't until you had this separation, you got some space, you got some distance, that you understood like how you missed certain red flags, and how you sort of played some tricks on yourself. You know, I'm getting like this coyote medicine kind of vibe here. Like, you're starting to see ways that you sometimes sabotage a good thing, you know, that you sabotage a good thing because of maybe placing the value too much on things that, you know, don't really matter at the end of the day. Maybe you were focused more on the material and weren't acknowledging the emotional value of this connection. And there might have been some choices. Just we did have some third party energy come in too. So this could have been a case where maybe Capricorn, you were tempted, you know, maybe you were tempted by some other people. Maybe you were having a hard time committing to this person. Maybe you were more invested in what you wanted to build for yourself financially. Maybe your security was more important than sort of investing in the emotional, and this sort of created some distance in the relationship. This is one possible way to look at this, and I do believe this is speaking to some of this Capricorn Venus collective. Another piece of this is just becoming educated through this time apart about the ways that you sabotage relationships yourself, and the ways that your own personal traumas really come to the surface in a way that you were not aware of in relationship until you took the time to do this work. I see you did the healing work, and it's really beautiful because what we see is this big, again, it's this bossing up energy that comes in, and it comes in this fall. Okay, we got a fall timing card here. All right, we see you spend some time in the dark. I got big like goddess Athena vibes coming in here. Okay, like all that spirit of selfhood, like Athena, Artemis, you know, really coming into that place of strength within the self, relying on the self, you know, building for yourself. And maybe this was really important for you in relationship. You're like, you know what? I want my finances to be on lock. I want to be in a good place financially before I really dive into a relationship. This is my priority, is to have that foundation. And that would be so Capricorn, right? Okay, but we do see you spent some time kind of traveling on that hermit's path, you know, and it's a dark path, you know, and you can only light that path with the light you build inside yourself. You know, that's what guides you forward when you're on that hermit's path. And you know, you'll have to forgive me here. I'm searching for the card because I like to illustrate these points as they come in, but I'm kind of a wild reader. My cards go all over the place. I don't work with spreads. So we see that, you needed that time on your own to bring the light forward, to, sort of put that emotional focus instead of putting it on another, which felt more of like a distraction at the time. You needed to put the focus on yourself by having this alone time for your own spiritual growth and integration. And I feel like you hadn't had the opportunity to really do this. You hadn't really given yourself the opportunity to focus on your own spiritual growth. And you did that. And through that, you gained a certain wisdom that came forward through that hanged man energy, through the hermit energy, through getting a new view, and working with that energy of selfhood. And like the owl can see in the dark, you were able to find the way through that period. It brings forward something that lights your fire, right? We see an ace of wands here. We see taking action. We see inspired action, a new beginning. It comes forward in the fall. And we also see it begins slowly. All right. This is something that you will build over time. All right. We do have Knight of Pentacles energy. Again, it's your energy, Capricorn. This is speaking to you. You are going to want to make a solid offer, or somebody is coming towards you. Could be other earth sign energy too. So it could be another Capricorn, could also be Virgo or Taurus. I'm picking up Venus placements with that very strongly. I don't know if that just came in. Okay. So it could be like another Capricorn Venus or Virgo Venus or Taurus Venus. But I see you having a legit offer come forward, whether you're the one making the offer to the other or they're making it to you. There is some beginning here. Okay. Some beginning. There's that Ace of Pentacles. So we know it comes forward in the fall. This starts to develop in the fall. We know it's going to come to fruition in the spring. That's really when you're going to see the growth. And it brings a lot of happiness. Okay. Happiest card in the deck. We got the sun here. Okay. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. That's what I heard. All right. And we see that Knight of Pentacles graduates to the King of Pentacles energy. All right. Very strong energy here. And how beautiful it's springtime, step into this Emperor, Empress energy. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. And I really got this strongly because it did come in at the beginning of the reading, and 33 on the clock when I said this. Okay. Boom. Big Empress energy. Big Empress energy there. For those of you, I believe it's really coming strongly for the feminine. And for the masculines, it's on an emotional level. It's like opening up to that receptivity, that emotional flow, kind of taking the focus off the practicalities and moving more into the heart space, discovering what it means to live from the heart, to live from that place inside of yourself. Like you really came into contact with this. But for the feminines, I'm really getting that it was sort of this unexpected thing that as you went through this process and this relationship was kind of put on ice, and you sort of were thrust into this position of having to go your own way for a while. You ended up bossing up, like in a way you never expected yourself to boss up. And it really gave you a kind of financial solidity that was very empowering for you. And in a sense, it actually gave you more agency than you felt that you had before. Even though you always had this agency, you didn't feel like you had it before because your money piece wasn't dialed in. And because of that, you always felt this inequity in relationships where one partner had, kind of the financial control, and that's what disrupted things in the relationship. But through this separation period, you were really able to build for yourself. I'm feeling, it's not here on the board, but I'm feeling 9 of Pentacles energy, okay? I'm feeling that pre-Empress energy. I feel like you built yourself up to this place. You may have even become independently owned and operated, You started doing your own thing. You broke away from working for someone else. You started building for yourself. And I think because of this, it allows you to come into this union that's coming forward in a way where you're really going to be able to hold your own within it. And that's what balances the power dynamic out. It's really a cool energy. Yeah, just keep resting and integrating, okay? Turn it over to spirit, trust, all right? Give it over. You don't need to seek anything. What you want wants you. That's what I'm getting with this. And I really feel like within a month's time, you're going to see movement in this situation with that Four of Swords. Yep, and right behind that, there's movement, all right. Here comes the Knight of Wands, okay? Fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You also may have one of these signs strongly aspected in your chart. We did see some Leo major arcana significators come out on the board, so you could potentially be dealing with a Leo. Yeah, and we do see if you were, I'm getting this, if you were dealing with a Leo in particular, if you were dealing with a Leo in particular, or somebody with a strong fire sign placement, I see you really blocking this energy and holding your ground. We did see an offer would be refused, okay? I see you blocking this energy. You're standing guard with this Nine of Wands. I think this situation took a lot out of you. And you're like, you know what? I've had enough. I don't want any more of this. There was a lot of drama with this situation, okay? Because we see that with the Five of Wands. And this person may actually come back around. This could have been the third party in your situation that was causing disruption. This person could come back around and just want to start a fight, want to cause problems, want to be argumentative. I see you blocking this energy, and I see you moving away from this energy with the Six of Swords. You're moving away from trouble, okay? You're ready for things to be calmer. You're ready for a smoother ride. You don't want all this turbulence anymore. And that right there is the truth with the Ace of Swords, okay? Yeah, we see you moving away big time. This is coming in really strongly. We see you moving away from this options energy, moving away from illusion, moving away from manipulation. Maybe you were dealing with somebody that you felt they really kind of played mind games with you. It fucked with your head, and you don't want any of that energy anymore. I'm picking up this really strongly in association with somebody who had a strong fire sign placement, okay? I think this is what's going to come back around in this Mercury retrograde cycle for you. And that's all the way up till October 2nd before it goes direct. And then we have the shadow period after, okay? It's another couple weeks. So this energy is going to be lingering until about the middle of October, right? So look for this. Look to hear from this person. I do believe with that Ace of Swords, you're going to get some kind of communication. It's going to come through for sure. It might be a message. It might be a message online. It might be something that pops up in your DMs. And there may be some passion here too, because with that Five of Wands, that can be also sort of like playful, playful antagonization. But I think you're kind of fed up with this energy, actually. I think at one point, maybe that's sort of like you realize that this was sort of a pattern that was unhealthy in a way you sabotaged yourself in relationships in the past. I think in the past, there was a part of you that kind of got turned on by that, a little kind of playful fighting, a little bit of that, kind of like, I'm in the mood for love energy, let's fight just so we can fuck and make up. There might have been that kind of dynamic in this situation. That I feel like you're tired of it. You don't want that anymore. You're ready for something more genuine. And I also feel like there was some options in this situation. There was multiple players. There was a lot of disillusionment here and a lot you couldn't see with that moon energy. There was a lot happening beneath the surface. And I believe that beneath the surface was subconsciously, had to do with each of your subconscious motivations. It had to do with that trauma bonding. I feel like this was a trauma bond. I feel like this was a trauma bond, and with that, Chariot there, I see you moving away from this. You don't want that anymore. You don't want that anymore. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want that anymore, you know? You don't want to have to be always, protecting yourself, feeling like you have to protect your heart with this Seven of Wands in reverse. You're ready to move out of that energy and you're tired of all the secret bullshit. You don't want to deal with somebody who's going to keep secrets. At one point, like the mystery was really intriguing. Like, ooh, they're so alluring, they're so mysterious, and yeah, they felt very deep and soulful to you. And we do see there was a real spiritual connection with this person. I believe this person came to teach you some spiritual lessons on your path. They were a spiritual soulmate. We did have that magician energy come up. But with the Seven of Cups energy, I feel like there was a lot of smoke and mirrors. And I have to bring this forward, okay? It's Broad Coven. We talk about this stuff here. I speak to everybody here, all right? In some cases, this person also was pulling a little magical manipulation. In some cases, this person had done some love spell work and it made things very confusing and messy and caused a lot of problems and actually led to this kind of very inflammatory connection. That's what happens when people do work on that level. And I'm seeing this kind of dramatic energy coming forward with the reintroduction of this person. So, they could be on the flip side of that spell work they did, which really turns into obsession. This is why you don't do spell work that is about love. That is, I personally feel it's better not to do spell work relating to love at all. Just saying, because human beings, can say, oh, I'm not targeting a specific person, but are you really able to go down deep in your subconscious, like subconsciously? You don't have a certain person in mind. If you're doing a spell for love, you probably have your eye on someone. You know what I'm saying? And unless you're really on your spiritual purification, it's really hard, to not have that subconscious tape running with that focus. And so it becomes very manipulative. It's just better not to do that. Better to just do healing spells for yourself. If you want to work on that level with spell work for yourself to come into a greater love with yourself, do a spell work to release anything that is unlike love within yourself. And then you'll be a lot better off than doing this kind of work. This feels like cross watcher energy to me right here. Potentially could be water sign energy with that too. This person may have a strong water sign placement in their chart. Could be Cancer, got a couple Cancer significators on the board. Could be Pisces. We got a few Pisces significators on the board as well. And I also feel that water energy is speaking to that quality of that, that changeability, that fluidity, and sort of this kind of smoke and mirrors sort of energy of the Seven of Cups. All right. I feel like there was a lot of glamour cast in this situation for those who are resonating with that story. You're putting this aside. You don't want to have to figure out where somebody's at anymore. You don't want to deal with that. You don't want to know if somebody's in it with you. You don't want to know, do they love me? Are they telling me the truth? Let me tell you something right now. If somebody truly loves you, like you wouldn't even be asking that question. If somebody was for real, if they were showing up for real, you would never even have to ask that question. You wouldn't be sitting there wondering, do they love me? Do they have feelings for me? Is it real? You wouldn't have to even ask the questions because they'd be showing up in such a way that it'd be totally evident. We need to stop fucking ourselves with these ways we play tricks on ourselves, right? With the ways we don't look at things honestly. Think about yourself. Think about how you show up when you're in love with somebody. You're all in, right? You're all in. It was 44:44 on the clock when I said this. This is like angel download coming through for somebody, okay? Big Gabriel energy coming through. Archangel Gabriel energy coming through for somebody, you know? If Gabriel speaks to you, connect with Gabriel. Like Gabriel can help you with this. Gabriel can help you heal this part. You know, give this over to Gabriel. Gabriel will help you through. But there's this piece, you know, about deceiving yourself. It's also kind of like that illusion, that glamour you cast on yourself because you didn't want to look at things as they really were. Okay, so there's a lot of smoke and mirrors, you know, in your situation, both within and without. And I feel like you're breaking through all of that. You are shattering illusion and you are like cracking open your own heart, you know, because you're ready for that something real. And that something real is coming. There's this beautiful new beginning that comes. And it's introduced. It's introduced in the fall, and you see it come to fruition in the spring. It brings a give and take energy, all right, with this Six of Pentacles. And we got that on both sides, you know, in the emotional department and intangible, the way the person's showing up. It's not just about the promises. It's not just about what the person says. How are they showing up? This person's going to show up. This person will meet you. And it is a soulmate. And it could be somebody returning from your past, okay? Could be somebody returning from your past who did the work. But I think in this case, with this trauma bond, you're like done with that. I feel like you're putting a fork in that one. It's done. And I believe that this was the third party element. You're actually turning your attention more to the person that you were connected to that had the relationship disrupted by this third party element. For those that this is speaking to, we see it brings healing. It brings new hope with the star. All right, we see that love coming in. Okay, really right now, just work on your ability to receive. Okay, I think you've been working really hard on yourself. You've really been nurturing yourself. You've really been focused on your growth. You've been doing your self-reflection. I think that's all really beautiful, okay? But there is this love from above. Look at that. And with the dove, it makes me think of angel energy again. I think Gabriel's like, I already got that love for you. It's earmarked for you. Come on, you got to turn up your cup. Turn up that Ace of Cups so you can receive it. I want to give it to you, you know? This is going to be the real deal, I promise. You know, it's kind of funny. It makes me think of that Four of Cups, right? Here's Gabriel. Here you go. Look, I got it for sure, for real. It's for real this time. You're like, I don't know about that. You might be kind of like a little guarded at first when this comes in because you're still thinking about the past, right? You're still thinking about what happened in the past. But you overcame this. And again, strength card, Leo energy, okay? So this may have been the challenge that you had to overcome in the past was with this Leo. But look what tames the lion. Look what tames the beast of burden. It's that Empress energy, okay? You stepped into that Empress energy fully. And what comes in is this Queen of Cups, all right? This Queen of Cups. And that's Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, all right? Yep, look. And right after that, the Devil, the King of Wands, fire sign energy again, the world, completion, bringing this to successful completion. You've overcome this. So this love that's coming in ain't got nothing to do with that. You put that to rest. This third party is out of the picture. I'm really getting that. You're not dealing with this energy anymore. And for some of you, where it wasn't a third party, you're done with this person. You are going to refuse this offer, and you're going to really do yourself. You're going to do yourself a good service in doing that because it allows the real deal to come through. But there's almost like this like test energy first. I feel like that's sort of at the forefront of your situation, right? Yeah, I think you're embracing the new way with this full energy. You are ready to step into the new cycle. Big Aquarius vibes, okay? And remember, it started out with that King of Swords, okay? That air sign energy. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, all right? So I think it's the original partner may have been somebody you'd been involved with for a long time, especially with that Six of Cups coming in, bringing in this opportunity to really have a solid start, a solid beginning in love. Okay. And if it's not somebody from your past, it's a soulmate. It's somebody you feel like you've known before. And this is a brand new cycle you're beginning here. You're starting at the 0 point. For those of you who are going to be reuniting, with this person that had the relationship disrupted by a third party influence, you're going to really level everything. You are starting from the 0 point with each other. I think you're going to hash it out. You're going to lay everything on the table. You're going to work through it. And then you're going to come to an agreement where it's like, okay, we're going to begin as if this is the first time we're meeting. And in a way, you kind of are, because you both have gone through so much growth through this process individually that you are starting brand new. You're starting from a whole new place with each other. And I think you're going to take your time. You're going to let it develop. You're not going to push it. You really want to be aware of the foundation you're putting in place with this relationship. So this is the place where you both learn to bridge between the head and the heart, and you meet in the middle there. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. That's what I got for you. Song came through for you. Meet Me in the Middle. I can't remember who does that song. I'll put it in the comments. I'll pin it in the comments, okay? So you can give that song a listen, look up the lyrics. It's an old like 70s rock song, It's an old freedom rock song, man. But check it out, because it does have a message for you. Lots of good stuff coming in. And man, I give you your respect, man. I give you your respect for doing the work. That is a beautiful thing. And I have to say, I'm so encouraged in so many of these readings people are doing the work. People are doing the work. And that is so damn inspiring. So cheers to you, man. You deserve it. And let this in. Let this in. It's going to be so beautiful for you. It's going to be so beautiful for you to experience really being met in that space.